Hey Dad, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not too good.
How come?
I just recorded this whole pretty much my entire project I just recorded on the phone with Adnan and my computer crashed and I lost the file.
No.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like a one of one thing,
Yeah.
like I can't go back and have the same conversation, the exact same thing. Anyway, I'm not just calling you to complain. I'm also looking for some help. Like, this project is kind of about, seeking advice for my project next year, but also just like in general. So I'm just wondering if you could help me out.
Or if you're trying to figure out how you want to live your life, you need to be self critical and you need to be demanding of yourself. It's good to be hard on yourself to try to, you know, make what you do as good as possible, but you can't be so demanding of yourself that you think everything you do is crap and that'll stop you from doing something.
Hmm.
You know, if you can do it, then you should do it, and you're not benefiting anyone by not doing it because you feel bad about it. But once you get out there, it'll be a very different thing. I think it's going to be a lot like when you were in France,
Yeah.
because there's going to be a ton of unknown. There's going to be a ton of having to adapt to really unfamiliar circumstances. There are going to be a lot of expenses. There's going to be a lot of discomfort.
Yeah, that's true. And I still think it'll be fun though. Hopefully, meet some cool people, meet some friends along the way.
It's I don't think you're going to be like making friends doing that kind of thing. It's like they'll they're more like co-conspirators almost in a project.
Yeah.
Then I don't think it's a way you create a friendship. Like friendship is something totally different. I mean, that's how you can make someone's acquaintance, and meet someone and hear what they have to say. But can't imagine building a friendship out of
Yeah.
that kind of
Not there to make friends.
thing.
For this project, I'm mostly listening and talking to people, hearing what other people have to say. I guess I'm just trying to figure out kind of what my position is in all this, and I guess what my voice is as well.
um, there is something that is an established kind of like set of social constructs that click into gear when someone has a mic in front of them and a camera in front of them. And it's not as alien as it used to be. You're just going out there and meeting people and seeing what people have to say and see what strikes a chord. Like it's all good. Whatever you do, whoever you talk to, it's going to be through your lens, right? Like I know that
Yeah.
you want to hear the voice of the people, but you are really active in what that voice is, like whose voice it is that's being heard. So you're not necessarily finding out what the general populace is saying. You're finding out, what people are saying who you speak to,
Hmm.
and you'll be putting together something with voices that you find most compelling, you know. So like it's sometimes dangerous to start out with a really specific thesis that you're trying to satisfy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of the things that you're in a position to do is just to go out there and see what happens. Like it's a really special thing to be able to have the freedom that you have. Like you're not doing this for a client, or you're not doing this for a teacher, you're not doing this for an assignment. You're doing this because you're feeling your way through the world, you know?
Hmm. It's nice to hear your perspective on this. Like, I don't know, just especially considering the rest of the family's perception of the project. Um, like, I'm thinking of Grandma and Zeta, but like specifically that talk that I had with Zeta.
So the kind of stuff that you're talking about doing is very unfamiliar territory for both of them. And just generally, our family, people have taken pretty traditional routes to get where they've gone and have pursued kind of traditional professions, which have a kind of standard track that you take.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You remember that talk I had with Zeta, though, right?
so I think what he does just naturally with everything he's kind of challenged with or confronted with is to question it. So even if his gut says, "Whoa, that's a great thing to do," he doesn't say that, right?
Yeah.
His instinct is to poke holes and to force you to defend a position. Do you know what I mean? The other thing is that they're more comfortable generally with the familiar, and I think you get that with reaction to, oh, I think I want to travel by myself through Morocco. There isn't a long history in our family of traveling to like Muslim countries.
Yeah.
And I think that, because our family's Jewish, there's sometimes like a knee jerk kind of concern or worry that there may be like, some kind of, you may be imperiled in doing so, or just like the degree of unknown is too great, or there might be sort of, hostilities that you might be confronted with, and you're in a position of, powerlessness, and you don't speak the language and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really easy to get to that place from the perspective of an adult in our family.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, it can be perceived as, kind of like ignorant, but it can also be perceived as, wanting to, mitigate risk. I think generally people always, want to be supportive, because they love you and because they have, interest in your happiness and your success. If you're trying to think of how to live your life, then the best thing to do is everything you can with what you have. Like the best thing to do in your life is just to max out.
Yeah, that makes sense. You got anything else going on today?
I'm gonna go make a snack.
Thank you for the call. Enjoy your
Okay.
snack too.
Thank you. My pleasure. I will enjoy as always. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
CMs.